In this video, I'm going to be showing a part fitting of this 3D printed kit that I got of Frieren. So first I'm going to start with the legs and then work my way up. So this is a 3D printed kit that's a fan art kit, so it didn't come with any instructions, so no part fitting guides, but it's pretty easy to kind of figure out where everything's supposed to go. Underneath the skirt, you kind of saw the support still there from the 3D printing process. There's a gap that's between the torso and the skirt, but I mean, that could easily be filled with some putty. The kit has about 23 or 24 parts if you count the extra head, if I did the counting right. And the parts are fitting fine. I don't have to adjust any of the keys if they're too big or too shallow. And so far everything's fitting in fine. As you can see, there's two heads included. One has sculpted bangs and the other one has the bangs as a separate part. I don't know. I feel like it kind of was unnecessary to include both heads. I feel just like, pick one. I feel those aren't really alternate parts per se. Something like if a base is different. So for example, I have a fern kit that's coming that I had to choose between that she was standing on a pillar or like on a more flatter surface. And the specific printer that I chose, you had to pick which one you wanted, and then they're only going to print that version of the base. Whereas say maybe you got something from a different printer, they maybe would have printed both. So that's kind of like how the variation goes with these 3D printed kits. You're kind of, it depends on which printer you go with. As far as like the quality also, if there's going to be layer lines, the color of the resin. So far for this one that I picked, I'm really happy with it. I'm showing how tall it is now. So it's about 21 centimeters tall or about 8.5 inches tall. And again, this is the 1/8 version. There also exists a 1/6 version and I guess different variability between if someone's going to print a different scale. So moving on to the base, I'm looking at the drill holes, and not all parts have drill holes, only certain parts, but I messaged the seller and they're saying that if there were no drill holes, the part was solid. The reason why this was concerning is because like I don't want to have trapped liquid resin inside if it should be drilled out, but the parts without the drill holes do not have any, they're solid. They were printed solid. Whereas the ones with the drill holes, they're printed hollow and the resin has to leak out. So here I'm putting together the base. This is where maybe if I had a part fitting guide, it maybe would have been a little bit better, but I mean, it was easy to figure out all the same. Here the parts fit kind of snug, so taking these apart is going to be a little bit more difficult than the main figure. You can kind of see that there's gaps between all the parts. I'm going to be painting it as one, so I'm going to be gluing everything, filling in the part fit, and then painting. I feel like there's not really a reason to keep these as separate parts. And I'm going to be hand painting anyway, so I don't have to worry about masking or anything like that. Something to keep in mind is that the grass blades are actually really sharp. So you don't want to like press down on that when you're trying to put the parts together. So now I want to see how tall the kit is on the base. And you could see like the boots already fell off because they fit loose. So the printer I went with was D3D Paints, and they're an officially licensed merchant for Tanuki figures and is authorized to sell physical prints of their models. Because remember, this is a fan art sculpture, so it's not officially licensed by the Japanese companies producing this anime or figure. So here, the kit on the base is almost about like 30 centimeters or about 12 inches. And so this is a pretty big kit, and this is again the 1/8 scale. The 1/6 scale would have been bigger. I chose this one because I feel like it's more like it is a dynamic pose still, like there's motion to her, but at the same time, it's not gonna take up too much crazy shelf space. It's just tall, it's not wide. So, I think this is a really nice sculpt. I like the face, the flow in the clothes, everything was nice. I also just want to point out that the earrings were sculpted fine. I kind of broke them once they were in my possession, so it's not on the printer that they didn't print correctly. Here is the staff, and actually there's no part warping. I mean, it's actually pretty thick, so I don't expect it to warp over time either. And the part fitting for the staff is really spot on. I really didn't do the hands before, but because I just did the main body, but they would fit underneath the little like top part of her clothing. Probably I would want to glue the arms first and then fit that part over it. But yeah, this is a pretty nice kit. And again, because it's 3D printed, there's no seam lines that we have to worry about. Just filling in some gaps here and there. So here I'm just trying to remove the parts, and I'm thinking like, what's the best way? Because again, the grass is kind of sharp to grab onto. Alright, so again, so this is a 3D printed kit, so it doesn't come with any official box or packaging, so I'm just putting it in a Ziploc bag, and I'm going to, with a printed image of what the kit looks like completed. So here's what it's going to look like completed. I wish, I mean, that would have been nice if it came with like colored photos, whatever, but that's not the way these come. It's just the parts. So now here, these are the people that are responsible for this sculpture.